There's a builder out there that will not let you get a pre-purchase inspection before buying one of their homes.
The siding is already shriveling up. If you prompted ChatGPT to build a neighborhood, this is what it would look like.
Now, builders and developers are beginning to cut costs even more than they already were before, and they're starting to show signs of skimping on the very basics.
So today we're going to be taking a look at the housing market again, but specifically new construction builds, because it seems to only be getting worse and worse as time moves on. I really don't know if this is ever going to end, honestly, because enough people are still buying these overpriced cardboard homes, and they just keep putting them up in record time. We have a ton of stuff to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave it in the comments down below, but let's just jump right into it.
One of the only affordable ways to become a homeowner in today's housing market is to purchase a house from a large publicly traded developer or builder like Lennar, D.R. Horton, or Pulte Group, because these developers are offering their houses with much lower than average interest rates than a typical 30-year fixed rate mortgage, and they're offering all kinds of incentives at closing for these first-time homebuyers, like covering closing costs as well as other things. But oftentimes, these first-time homebuyers end up regretting their purchases from these large developers because the houses that they purchased were built with crappy materials, dubious subcontractors, and shoddy practices that end up resulting in big problems for them later on. So a good example of this is these two pictures right here from a house that a couple from Henderson, Nevada bought from one of these large developers. The developer ended up building this particular house on a section of native soil in the Henderson area that ended up shifting, and as a result, this foundation of the house started sinking. So it caused cracked and damaged tiles on their outdoor patio, like you see right here, and cracks appearing in the wall on their living room as a result of this foundation moving.
And going right over to the comment section, I'm under contract on a new build, and this concerns me, especially in HOA communities. They don't have the proper waterproofing systems or flashings. I'm finding these types of damages every week. I found this one yesterday. No proper flashing and water, and termites got inside, with a photo that looks pretty brutal. I just drove by a new D.R. Horton community, and they had a sign offering 10-year limited warranties on new builds. It's kind of crazy, but if they're having these issues, it might be the necessary step for them to be able to convince buyers. I don't know, when I hear that kind of stuff, to me, it just seems like there are going to be problems guaranteed. And adding on all of the other incentives builders use, the interest rates covering closing costs, I just see a huge red flag when I hear that kind of stuff. My house rented was built by D.R. Horton in 2020, huge gaps under the fence in the back, screw heads popping through the walls, cracks in the walls, soft spots in the floors, and creaks like crazy. I would never buy one of these homes. And we actually have a comment from you guys that goes very well with the last clip. There's a class action lawsuit in Nevada against D.R. Horton for bait and switch. And the images that we saw with the foundation shifting was also in Nevada.
New construction. You can already see some things unmarked right there. Countertop scratched. Tile back there is broken. Anyway, I think we're having some venting issues. So let me just open this up right here. Nice. And now I'm going to close that, and it's going to suck all the water out of the toilet. There she goes.
But it's brand new. You don't need a home inspection.
It seems like almost every inspection, I'm finding a gas leak somewhere in the house. This is a brand new construction house. There's our water heater in the attic space.
And this is still on an almost $500,000 house. It's actually going to get way worse with some of the clips we're going to see, but I asked you guys in a previous video, would you buy a new construction home? Someone says, this is so true. All of my doors are misaligned, 3 broke within 2.5 years, and the grout in my bathrooms is falling out, and 2 of my appliances broke within 2 years. Another person just saying, no, nope, I built my own home, and we'll talk about people building their own homes a little bit later in this video. I bought a David Weekley home in Denver, Colorado in 2017. it was a nightmare. I was so traumatized by the experience that I ended up selling it 3 years later at a loss. Never again. Morris homes are also terrible. But now we're getting to a point that some of these builders are so bad that they're refusing to have outside inspections because they know how many things they're going to catch.
Now I shit you not. There's a builder out there that will not let you get a pre-purchase inspection before buying one of their homes. You are not allowed to get a pre-purchase inspection prior to closing on that home.
I just want to confirm, because I do hear this from so many of the homeowners in this community, because I am in this community all the time. And what I'm hearing from every single customer when I do a home inspection is they are all saying that the builder refused to let them have a home inspection before they closed on the home.
Correct.
They would not let you have a home inspection.
100%.
That's insane.
Now, I did this home inspection about 6 months ago, and the builder told the customer that they completed some of the repairs. Well, let's go see those repairs.
Did the builder say that they made all the repairs that I'm checking today? Yes. They did. Okay. You are going to. So the builder said that they repaired and replaced all of these tiles?
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't. They glued them back together.
The builder said they replaced all the damaged roofing tiles, but all they really did was glue and paint them back together.
Now I'm cutting this video off, we're only about a quarter of the way through, but he just goes over issue after issue, even though they were supposed to fix it. And this goes well with a comment from you guys: why is there never enough time to do it right, but always enough time to do it over? Because they're hoping you won't catch all of their shortcuts, and then it becomes your problem and you're just completely screwed. I mean, we even heard that the builders didn't want to have any inspectors until they already closed and sealed the deal. You can't really get more shady than that.
These literally look like sheds.
Why would you ever want to live next to a freeway like this? I hope they're giving the Insomniac special.
The siding is already shriveling up. If you prompted ChatGPT to build a neighborhood, this is what it would look like.
AI looking houses.
Even the brick is on Ozempic. It's thin as hell. Backyard's just for show, because if you use it, you're gonna twist your ankle. Ooh, they turned the saturation all the way down. Builders really read A Wrinkle in Time and said, let's create this. You have a whole house and one window on the side? Diabolical.
I always think of A Wrinkle in Time when I see these new neighborhoods, because why do they all look the exact same? It's ridiculous. Every house is the same. The creator responds, it's so eerie, and there's no trees, it's depressing. I've built better houses in Minecraft when I was 8. The fact that I could hear the freeway through the whole video, and with how thin those windows are, you could hear it clear as day inside. Somebody else also says that'll be 1.5 million. Exactly. They're so close together that you could hear your neighbor sneeze, and they're all 5 to 10 feet apart from one another and have the lawn size of a mid-size sedan. We got another comment here: when buying your home, always hire your own home inspector. Even if the builders or the realtors have some friend that's really good at their job, they could always be in the pockets of those companies and overlook a ton of different issues. I mean, take a look at how many problems we have right here in one single room of the house.
You want to see what a $600,000 kitchen looks like after I'm done with it? Let's take a look at what I found. Well, all of our countertop receptacles are supposed to be GFCI protected. No trim, damaged, massive gap, need adjusted, missing trim, a little bit beat up here, huge gap, needs adjusted, adjustment, basically every single piece in here. And we just love scratching a new sink. Look at that one. Yee! And still gaps, trim this thing out here, but look at this countertop. She got a little flex to her. It's level like it sits. We just need to shim this thing out and actually seal it.
I'm going to be saying this throughout each one of the home inspection videos we watch, but this was only a part of the video. It's truly unbelievable how poor the quality has gotten. And with comments from you guys like this, it doesn't seem like it's just a US problem. Australian here, we're seeing the same problems. They'll do absolutely anything to cut costs and maximize profits.
You know, America's housing market is already bad enough as it is with how expensive things are nowadays. The average first-time homebuyer being 40 years old, and anybody looking to purchase a basic starter home in their respective market is probably out of reach price-wise. But now, builders and developers are beginning to cut costs even more than they already were before, and they're starting to show signs of skimping on the very basics. So where are they cutting costs, you might add? Well, remember actual solid hardwood cabinets? Those are made out of particle board now. Remember having an actual solid front door to your house? Well, they've cored that out to help with material costs. Remember having an average of 18 windows in your new construction home? Now that's down to 15 homes. And even things like an automatic garage door opener are considered a frivolous luxury in the eyes of new home builders nowadays.
But don't worry, each one of these houses will still be wildly overpriced. I'll die on the hill that open shelving in kitchens is just because builders and flippers are too cheap to put in real cabinets. Somebody else just says my friend didn't even get a doorbell. I mean, what am I even supposed to say at this point? We got another comment here. What an absolute joke. Everything is going up in price but going down in quality. So much so that you have a few of these home buyers fighting back. Because to be honest, they got completely scammed on their house.
Uncovered more than a dozen Georgia homeowners who allege one of the nation's largest builders sold them defective homes.
Arbitration records reveal that homeowners claim the company sold them houses with faulty plumbing that have repeatedly failed, causing water damage. Atlanta News First investigative reporter Andy Parati shows us one of those homes with dozens of leaks.
November 21st, around 8 p.m.
Like clockwork, the water pipes in Matthew Arden's new home seem to leak.
These pipes like to burst on Fridays.
On schedule for years.
I mean, they burst every day, but it definitely likes Friday nights when I'm getting ready to settle down.
How many leaks have you had? You had to guess.
If I had to guess, 26, 27. I stopped counting somewhere in the teens for a little while because they were coming one after the other, like day after day. That's something we need to get fixed.
Today, Matthew says his home looks like Swiss cheese. Hole after hole after hole.
Can they file a class action lawsuit? It sounds like that's what's happening. Realtor here, when buying a new home, have your own agent. Those builders' agents work for the builder. You need your own advocate and get a home inspection. My D.R. Horton house was trashed in 2010, built from the ground up. They were once the go-to company for new builds. Sounds like they started outsourcing for cheaper materials and labor. New build D.R. Horton, I sold it within 3 years. Never buy a D.R. Horton home. And if you're in that boat where you bought at the top of the market a few years ago, selling really isn't a great option unless you're ready to take a huge financial hit. But obviously some of the repairs are not great either. Just financed $11,000 to replace my upstairs AC unit for my downstairs AC unit to also stop working today. Do you have a spare 20 grand to fix the AC? I don't think most people do. We got another clip up on screen, our new build nightmare, with the explanation in the description. When we built our home, I had no idea how many hidden risks can come with a new construction neighborhood. Please take this as a huge PSA if you're building or buying new construction or a new build home. Our house was one of the first finished on our street. As the rest of the homes were built and the land was cleared, something started happening every time it rained. All the water from the entire street would rush downhill straight to our front yard. It turned into whitewater rapids running down the side of our property. Mulch and soil washed away. Grass couldn't survive. It even eroded the roots and took a 90-foot oak tree that eventually had to be removed, which cost us about $3,000. And maybe one way to solve is to put a better drainage system around your house, but obviously that's not going to be free when they're already $3,000 in the hole because the tree collapsed from the water.
There are 3 things that nobody thinks about when purchasing new construction. For one, the potential for almost constant noise, unless you're buying at the last phase or you're buying in a small development. For a lot of these big developments, you're going to have construction noise for potentially a year or so. Number 2, the fact that you may not be able to enjoy the amenities that you're paying for a while. So I'm showing one right now that we may put an offer on, and they are aware though going into it that they're going to have to obviously start paying the HOA right away, but the pool, the gym, all of that, none of that will be built for about a year, maybe a little bit more. Number 3, the supplemental tax bill. I'm specifically speaking for California, but that supplemental tax bill is typically going to be higher, a lot higher than if you're purchasing a resale home.
When we purchased, we couldn't even get internet service for like 3 years outside of a super expensive satellite service, which was crappy. Thankfully, the builder agreed to pay half the monthly bill, but if it was still wildly expensive and bad service overall, it doesn't seem worth it to me. And the lack of shade and mature landscaping. That's why since working in the industry, I went with an older home to have all the tall trees and landscaping and shade, especially in Florida. Mail delivery also, if the community is new, you have to pick up your mail from the post office until the neighborhood is established. That also sounds extremely inconvenient to me, but we can move on to some price increases people don't know about until it's too late.
This is the #1 reason new construction home buyers regret their purchase. One of my clients came to us for a second opinion because their mortgage payment went from only $3,200 a month all the way up to $5,400, and they have no idea why. They didn't refinance, they didn't miss a payment, and their interest rate stayed the same. So what happened? The problem was escrow, because when they bought their new home, it was a new construction. But unfortunately, the taxes they were shown at closing were estimated on the land only and not with the house built on it, which means their escrow account was way too low. So after a year, even though they've been making their payments, when the county came out to reassess the property and there was a house sitting on the land now, their taxes spiked hard, because now the lender is playing catch up, and not only do they have to cover the new higher taxes moving forward, they also have to come up with all the taxes they didn't pay over the last year. So just like that, $28,000 owed, and that's the reason why their payment went up by $2,400 a month.
That happened to me in 2021. My mortgage went from $2,600 to $3,000. Now with insurance costs rising, it's going up again. And the creator responded, you have to sell your phone, which I'm pretty sure he meant home. So let's talk about that avenue then. You go in and get completely screwed by one of these new builds. Either it's very shoddy work or the escrow makes it way more expensive. And within a year or so of you buying, you decide to sell. But there are definitely a whole host of problems when it comes to that as well. We could take a look at this clip talking about the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Stop buying new construction. These communities in Salina, Prosper, Anna, Forney, really anywhere in the Metroplex, they take 5 to 7 years to fully build out. Sometimes longer if it's a massive build community. So when you go to sell your 2-year-old home, you're not competing with the other resale homes. You're competing with your builder, the same builder who sold you your house, just a few streets over. Building the exact same floor plan, brand new, $15K in incentives, a rate buy down you can't match, and it gets worse. Those $30K in upgrades, that lot premium, all that's gone. The reality is you're going to be taking a major financial loss.
Okay, so instead of all that, we'll go back to the comment from the beginning of the video saying that I'm just going to build my own home. I have the money and the resources to do it. You're also going to need quite a bit of time. I hope you're retired or don't really have too many hours at work, because you're going to have to sit at the job site and micromanage all the builders.
This is why you got to come. When you get your house built, you got to come every single day to watch these folks build your home. This a low bearing wall. Look at the gap. Look how your nails in here.
Look at this one, look right here. Look at this. It's not even stable. Look at it.
Look at your gaps. It's why you gotta come.
It's not even stable.
Look at this nail. This is why you gotta come when these folks building your house. Look at the nails. You ain't gonna never see this because this is gonna be behind the wall. Look at your gaps.
Again, I'm cutting off the video. We're only a fraction of the way through, but it seems like you're getting a similar quality even if you have a custom built home. This should be a crime. This is people's biggest investment. I don't think it's really an investment anymore, but still, it's most people's biggest purchase they'll make in their life. I've told folks for years, if you're building a house from scratch, hire an independent inspector that checks every aspect of the work and put it in the contract. For my coin, they'd be starting this Lego project over, and this is what they want for $700,000. American houses are really built on hopes and dreams now. All the new construction homes are trash. And here we could take a look at one of the most expensive home inspections I think we've seen on this channel. And surprise, surprise, there's still a ton of issues.
Nice. That's exactly how it should be.
Well, that one's not even close. Here's the dog wash station. That needs to be fixed. Kitchen countertop is chipped and damaged. I don't think they're patching that one, but I bet they'll try. Breaker inside the electrical sub panel is displaying an error message. That must be why. Brick window ledge has a negative slope back towards the home that will allow water to pool here on the frame. Should be sloped like that. Metal trim around windows is loose. Looks like the material they used didn't quite adhere to the metal. Nail heads on the roof around the bathroom mechanical exhaust fan are painted, but they're not sealed.
And going over to the comment section, I couldn't imagine having to pee really bad, and that's the lock for the front door. This one is sending me why would they do this, talking about the floor outlet, and I'm pretty sure this is the third or fourth time we've seen this on the channel. It's actually crazy how common of a problem this is. Again, in a almost $2 million home. Is it illegal to have normal housing in the US? I'm already mad at the locking mechanism. I mean, it goes on and on.
New construction house. This is actually in Apollo Beach. We're in the attic right now. This is actually a Toll Brothers construction. The hell is that?
Toll Brothers are luxury home buildings, if you didn't know. Toll Brothers have issues with every development, and we get a little bit more context from the creator as well. LOL, the Toll Brothers just called me. Apparently this video got forwarded to one of their construction managers. They reached out to my office and my office manager transferred them to me. We had a quick conversation about doing the right thing. It's getting fixed up and inspecting this issue again once it's corrected. But I can guarantee you nothing would have been done if this video wasn't uploaded to TikTok. We got another comment from you guys here. I was a drywaller from 2000 to 2008, and I would have said to not buy those houses built in that time. But these new ones are something else. Legitimately built out of cardboard.
You'll see all these $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 houses. Hell, here's one. There's one. All right. I want to show you what these are made out of. You see that? Look at it. Hold on. It gets better. Okay. Now, behind all those bricks, right there, there's this. Ain't to it. Y'all want y'all's goddamn homes built out of cardboard? 200 G's. 200 G's.
And honestly, most of the time, it's a lot more than 200,000. Look up Texas cardboard houses to see how they stood up in a storm. If you look that up, you'll find out they didn't make it through the storms. $60,000 homes being sold for $350,000. And we could finish off this video with a house that's apparently worth more than twice the price of that.
We make contact here, not here. It's like piano keys back here. That's crazy. I just want to open it to test it, but the whole thing comes up out the floor. This is loose. Loose is an understatement on this one. I checked them both, and the primary bathroom tub is producing no hot water. This is loose. Here's some hinges. This is loose. We got a brick at the corner of this window loose. We got a broken window sill already on the new construction. Whenever they're sealing the windows, I never understand why they install the caulking over loose pieces of mortar. See? Now it's open. Damaged flooring. This is damaged. In the primary bathroom, the left side sink is leaking.
These builders need to be held accountable monetarily. This is absolutely insane. And an $830,000 home when it took about $60,000 to build it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.